Hello, welcome to Spoken Word London this evening. We are actually going out live on YouTube as we speak. Okay, we've got loads of brilliant readers lined up tonight. Just so that everyone knows, each performer gets 5 minutes. If anyone gets towards the end of their 5 minutes, they're still going. At 4:45, normally I ring a Princess Diana bell, but she's gone missing. So I'll be making a ding-ding noise, and then at 5 minutes, you'll get blasted out with 80s disco music, unfortunately. And just so you guys all know, Spoken Word London is here for anyone to do any kind of spoken word performance that they like. It could be poetry, it could be short stories, you could read somebody else's work, you could come and rant. More than welcome. So before I call the first reader up, I just want to say that it's a respectful space, so please, although we've got that link to YouTube, please try not to be looking at your phones when people are reading. We will have a break after every 5 readers, so there'll be plenty of time to chat in between. So without further ado, the first reader of round 1 is Luke Miller. Can we give him a big round of applause?
How are you all doing? Good? This is my first time performing this without reading off a bit of paper, so I hope it's going to go well. So here we go. We want justice for the terror that happens in our western streets. But when it comes to Palestine, they have to turn the other cheek, and they have to turn the other and cut off their hands, remove the head from the body, and leave the body on the ground. This is reality for anyone who's not in Europe or America. Terrorism that doesn't even exist over in Lebanon or the whole continent of Africa, or it's the Middle East or Asia, but we've still got the backs of our Aboriginal hunter friends from Australia, or the oil barons of Israel who have us in their pockets while they terrorise Palestinians with missile-guided rockets. 500,000 dead in Iraq, 300,000 dead in Syria, 30,000 dead in Afghanistan, 15,000 dead in Libya. Where's their minute of silence? I don't get one. Why not? Because we need a century of silence for the people we have shot. Then one person dies in Britain, and we want memorials, minutes of silence and public holidays where the kids don't go to school. But honestly, I'm not trying to play down the life of any man, but we that much more important than the kids of Afghanistan, where the Taliban were apparently trained and armed up to the teeth by guns from the good old USA. Don't be a sheep to the media, be a disciple, be a pupil. Don't let people tell you who to hate. The next moments, they are crucial, because with the people we are fighting with, we probably have more in common than the right honourable paedophiles occupying the House of Commons. And it's clear that the government doesn't give a shit about its people. Tax breaks for the rich, while we give poor people the needle. Cut funding for the public and fuck the disabled. We'll get them on the factory lines like they're full-bodied enabled. Let's sell the NHS, create more private prisons, create environments that breed crimes, and these people, they can fill them, and then we'll distract them with work days that they can barely manage. We do it, we make it work, but really it's a challenge. And when the bills pile up and the debt collectors come knocking, we're lucky at the end of the week we can afford a little shopping, but that's okay, take this credit card and get yourself in debt. And the cycle continues, waking up with regret. So we try to forget, and on the weekends we get pissed. On Monday, load up on coffee so it can assist with our day, because we are all still fast asleep. Literally and metaphorically, we are tired and we are sheep. Don't be a sheep to the media, be a part of the mass awakening. No more bullshit, we're not taking it. No more back-breaking work and shitty minimum wage where poor people like me and you can go out there and get paid. We're being played. You can change the game that we're playing. We outnumber them 100 to 1. I'm just saying, just because we're in a new century, you think slavery doesn't exist? We're just slaves to debt and farmer. They just changed the game a bit. What kind of government solves homelessness with spikes, solves debt with more debt, brings peace by starting fights? The only way to drive out darkness is through light. Martin Luther King said them words, and I think he was right. So let's unite and try and love one another. Black, white, Muslim, we're all brothers. And even them oppressors, they're like distant cousins. We don't really like them, but someone's got to love them. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Luke. Okay, so we are live on YouTube, and we have 4 people watching at the moment. Hello. Okay, next up on round 1, we have Jason Y. Can we give him a round of applause, please?
Bloody hell, Luke, that was incredible. Where'd you go? That was really good stuff. Let's hear it for Luke. Oh, no, that guy was incredible. All those who've seen me before, go on. All that haven't seen me before, go yay! Ah, the ayes have it. For those of you who don't know, I do on-the-spot poetry, ask members of the audience for words, places, things, then I do a poem about it. I'm going to use my psychic powers and find a complete stranger in the audience to assist me. Not you, we've met. Not you. No, someone at the back, someone at the back. You, sir, you. Have we ever met before? No. Thank you, Tom. Think of a word and don't tell anyone, and then I'll come back to you. Let me use my psychic powers for anything. Look at me. Is your name Iris?
Me.
Is it Izzy?
Yeah.
How's that? Isn't that? Look at me. Is your name, coming to me, Bridge? And over in the corner we have the famous Iris, a fabulous poet. Now you guys, I want you to think of some words I couldn't possibly do a poem about. Can you do that for me, Izzy? That's your word. Bridge, can you give me a word I couldn't do a poem about? Go, thank you. Oh, I'm gonna go. And you at the back now for the first time, tell me your word.
Algebra.
Oh God, we did that yesterday. Algebra. So we're gonna do a poem with go, and algebra. Do you think that's possible, Chris? Yeah, thank you. Would you like to throw something into this poem? A little word, something to help. Yeah, a word. Beige, that's the colour. That's the colour, that's not a word, it's the colour, you cheeky little thing, you. Okay, so now we're going to do a poem with beige. What's your word? Go. Oh, I'm going, don't worry, I'm going to go. What's your word at the back?
Algebra.
Algebra, go. So when I point at you, you say your word. Would you like to kick a word in? Yeah. Would you like to have a word? Yeah, me. That's it, and me. What's that? Giraffe. Oh, she's having a laugh. You giraffe. Here we go. Are you ready for this poem? Yeah. Should it be a sad poem? No. Okay. Who said yes? Okay, let's do the poem. We walked, and we walked, and we walked. We looked, and we saw, and we walked. We thought, it's time. It was a deadly time, but it was time to go. And the giraffe looked out and said, yes. The giraffe looked out and, it's algebra! And then they looked around to see who was algebra and what was algebra doing. And they said, it's a kind of story, it's an algebra story. I said, what's that? What's algebra? What's that? What are you talking about, algebra? He said, well, it's maths. Matt's not here. He's gone. He was drinking the jungle juice. He's been eating the berries with his tall neck. The giraffe was up there eating the berries, and all the time he was thinking, what to do next? He said, they're all coming. They're coming and they're going to do what they do. He said, do they know what they do? Do they say what they do? He said, go. That's what he said, and they went. They went off, far away. And as they were going, they were thinking, giraffe. Yes, and the giraffe looked around and said, he said at the back, he said, wait, why'd you say algebra? He said, you know we can't count. He said, we're giraffes, we don't read either. And he said, oh my goodness. But they kept on going and going, they kept on walking and walking, drinking and drinking, saying, all those people on YouTube are going to be watching this going, what's he going on about? 1 and 1, 2 and 2, and the elf. And then all the monkeys come down and said, yeah, we like to play and all. They jumped on the giraffe, they ran around and then they sang a song. And the song was, go, 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 right now. Thank you. Okay, before I go, I'll just do this quickly. Luke reminded me of this, and I really did enjoy your stuff. He reminded me. Now, close your eyes and imagine this. Close your eyes and imagine this. A safe place is in the home. As you go up the stairs, you've got your dad, your granddad, your great-granddad, and your great-granddad's thoughts on life was work hard. And all around you, it is a disaster. And all you've been doing is walking, walking, walking. You're walking barefoot, you're walking miles and miles and miles, and all you get is rejected. Everywhere you come to, they say no, no, no. And all you can think is what my granddad said, work hard and live and be successful. And you think, I've achieved that goal, I've walked and walked, I've worked hard. My brother doesn't walk with me anymore, because that's what happens in war. I never understood the war, or what they did, or all the rules, or what they say and what they do. All I know is I'm walking. All I know that I'm hungry. All I know is bloody gold. All I know that the people who
Ding,
could...
ding.
All I know is the people who could do something should do something. My name's Jason White. Thank you very much. Good night.
Thank you, Jason. Okay, next up on round one we have Isaac. Can we give him a big round of applause?
This is a poem about when I met up with my ex and went to the cafe. Waiting side by side. Sorry, I don't know why I said that, that's not words. Waiting side, again, no. Waiting by the bus stop for the girl that broke me. She'll never hear this poem, so she'll never really see. I've got an icebox where my heart used to be. Orchids. A relationship like the flower. Picking petals, she once loved me, now she loves me not. Skipping pebbles with my feet as I wait a rot. Kicking stones down the street as I think of what will happen. She ain't coming, she's here. The possibilities of our meet raise my hopes sky high, but you stare at your feet, maybe it's not that deep. Walking side by side down the road, savouring each step, like the man on death row savours each breath. It's raining as we walk, remembering each shop. I memorise her posture like cacti remembers each drop. And she's cutting through Peckham like a fish, like a sword. £7 from Bajan Spice, that's why I never bought it. Swordfish is expensive. Anyway, I digress. If I was to die there, I swear I'd die blessed and rest eternally in hellfire. Not for what I've done and do, but for what I'd do for you. Simple smile on my lips, I go for a lick. And sliver silver, stripping skin and making my mouth wealthy. That was me boasting, by the way. Maybe I'm vain. I'm an angel, you're a devil. I'm the demon, you're the devil. Again I diverge as we walk. The rain hits you, I'm on the side of the curb, as I always would. To keep you safe from the rain, you've got up your hood. As I always would. To keep you safe from the world, you've got up your hood. To keep you safe from the rain, you misunderstood. This water ain't attacking you, it rose up from the ocean, fell from clouds and chose you. Now you see why I miss you, even the rain wants to kiss you. Now I see why I love you, even the rain doesn't miss you. I wish the walk was longer, so I could see you get wetter. Somehow it makes me feel better, how it makes you look lesser like a star, and more like a fishbowl. But by then we've walked too much, enough, and it's over. And we've arrived, but it's over. Enter the cafe and we'll talk this over. Starts off awkward, it's raining, so I'm relaxed. We find a seat in the corner, our own little section of life. We talk, and it's awkward, but you smile and it's not. Our fingers get closer and closer. I'm almost there, don't stop, baby, don't stop. Coming closer and closer until climax of your conscious clock stunts how close we are. So you pull your hand away, saving us both from ourselves. Your eyes, your neck, your chewed thumb, all in front of me, once mine, once me. You don't like your tea, tastes like grass and water, you say. So I offer you mine, but I wish I could offer you so much more. My apologies, my love, my life, but all I do is sit there, talk to you, make you laugh, make you smile. What's all I ever wanted? It was like it was always my purpose in life to teach you how to love and teach you how to hate, so you can enjoy this life and find your soulmate. It's a sacrifice I made because I know you do the same. And if you find no one else, then a deal comes to play. I'll see you in 10 years with some flowers and your name. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Isaac. You'll be pleased to know our YouTube viewers has peaked at 6 viewers right now. Okay, next up in round 1, we have Jaylee. Can we give him a big round of applause, please?
Thank you. That was lovely. I hadn't heard, Isaac's a friend of mine and I hadn't heard him perform before. And yeah, that was deep. This poem is about that feeling you get sometimes when something really emotional or spiritual happens and you get this kind of tingle down your spine and it just really takes over you. It's about that feeling. Can you hear me without the mic? Because I don't really... Is that alright? Can you hear me at the back?
Yeah.
Without the mic? Okay, cool. What brings on spinal tingling? We wonder. Is something implying or trying to conjure inside? So I listen to what's inside. Universal might just whisper in time with the billowing winds which are whistling through. Brings sensational magical pings and it so it bores through my muscle and wings and disappears in thin air without any warning or despair. I despair. I want more. I lure. I dare my core to endure many more sudden shudders just to implore what it's for. My roughest judgment is that it comes from above, wherever that is. Perhaps it's true love, wherever that is. We're just here clueless, in confusion from inhuman illusions, unconscious convulsions we get from infusions of mint leaves in water with honey, 1 sugar. I drink it in order to feel complete. I think it's funny how a liquid can elicit cascading, runny, enchanting, climatic, clearly and loudly chanting, then exclaiming that there's more to this tea than we can imagine. There's more to our planet than we can examine. Our knowledge amasses and fiction subtracted, but there's way more to know than we can establish, let alone to know what requested a magic, divinely erratic, beguiling, ascending, instinctive, organic feeling that's sending me digging, unearthing for something to believe in. Before I'm up and leaving this round, brown, green thing, my faith is creeping, then crawling, walking to the edge, then leaping, then soaring, falling for a cosmic teaching. Will I crumble to pieces like chalk for a teaching? But then I heard it again, and I felt it again. The moment I hear the wise calling, and they're talking about the ink and the pen, and the pencil's lead. So I'm writing again, reaching into my head, past my demons and dread, and even the blessed, sat breaking the bread, claiming it's Jesus of flesh, past all of that into the deepest of depths until I find that ledge where my tingle is kept. Thanks. Thank you. I'm going to do, thank you so much. I'm going to do like one more about identity if I have a little bit of time. It's about, how much do I have?
You've got 2 minutes and 10.
Alright, lovely. This one's about just growing up being mixed race and not really knowing where I fit in and stuff. I've struggled to find my identity, growing up meandering, from Peckham, full of diversity, to my granddad's village where we unbalanced the consistency. In the playground on my primary, I can remember wanting to be Portuguese and speak Portuguese because everybody was Portuguese. In the playground on my secondary, supposedly you had to chill on either the nerdy white side or the ghetto yardy black side, but where was I? See, I meandered both sides strategically, defensively bridged the divide like interdisciplinarity between sciences and humanities. Throughout our lives, we are seductively told that we should base our identity on our ethnicity or our nationality. I do not believe that. I'm not black or white or mixed race, mate. I'm purely and simply Jay Lee. And I say, fuck these categories they try to put me in. There should be only one human being. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much, JD. That was awesome. Okay, our penultimate reader in round one is the wonderful Bridge. Can we give him a big round of applause, please?
All right. So I'm going to do a poem about a girl that I'm crushing on at the moment. I'll probably never tell you that I wrote this poem for you, even though you'll probably hear it and you'll be all like, oh, Bridge, that's the shit. And you'll say how you wish somebody had those feelings for you, while I cower into my beard and stare at my brand new Batgirl socks. I really like your face a lot. I wish I could stop time so this moment would never end. Talk about getting them goosebumps again. The ones that I didn't think I'd feel again for a while. You threw a smile in my face, and I swear my heart missed its pace. I never wanted to be ejected from that moment of time and space. And as you cuddled up under my arm, I felt no harm in holding you close, embracing you deep, desperately trying to keep this moment alive, while you lay there completely oblivious to my obvious need to kiss you. And I knew that I was going to have problems with this long before we even met. And the moment I did meet you, it turned out you was exactly what I did expect. You're all kinds of pretty, your hair smells all nice and that. I kind of fancy your voice a lot and you're a bit of a nerd for the bat. And although your opinions on Keaton are a little bit shit, you're still well fit. So on this occasion, I'm going to allow it because towards my interests, you're massively relevant. And I'm not going to lie, I thought I was going to die that moment you started quoting Arrested Development. So I've got this little idea that you should let me kiss you a little bit and see if our lips do fit the same way that our hands did. But to be honest, I don't think I'm your type, but that's all right. So I'm going to take flight back to my nerd cave where I'll probably think about you for the next bunch of days. And hopefully soon these feelings will fade and I'll send you a message and I'll be all like, hey, I can't wait to see you again. I hope you're okay. And then I'll just like be on my way. Cheers. Right, okay, so I'll be quick. So I've got another one I'm going to do. So Batman v Superman just came out and it was rubbish. But it was better than Batman Begins. So this is my poem about Batman Begins. Dear Christopher Nolan, please don't get me wrong, son. I love the shit out of Prestige, Memento and Inception. I think you're an awesome director and a pretty decent storyteller, but to be honest with you, I have some problems with your portrayal of Gotham's Dark Protector. You see, I remember first hearing the announcement. Back then shit was way more stagnant. We'd already had some movies about some mutants, but there was hardly a geek chic movement. And about half had been broken many years earlier by a usually competent director. Fuck Bat Nipples, fuck Barbara Wilson, Batman and Robin and Batman Forever. This time we're getting Scarecrow, Ray Shaggle, and that dude from American Psycho. And it'll be too early for Robin, but I'm sure that he's coming, maybe even as Nightwing, and that's cool. And I heard it's really loosely based on Year One, because it's wicked, because I'm a massive fan of Lieutenant Gordon. Gonna watch him rock up into Gotham, take down all the police corruption, watch him expose Loeb, then watch as they promote his ass to Catwoman. Trust me, I'm so excited about that ever faithful night. The Mark of Zorro on Park Row and the birth of the Dark Knight. So now I'm about 10 minutes in to Batman Begins. And the tone is all but win, and I'm starting to think, why am I watching Liam Neeson taking my second favourite villain, removing all the feeling that comes with him, but I guess that's just my opinion. And his League of Shadows were cool, but massively underused though. But at least we get a redo in season 2 of Arrow. So what we've got now is a movie full of inconsistent fight scenes and a vengeance that means nothing. And a movie so full of plot holes, it's so far removed from enticing. Flashbacks within flashbacks, and does this piece of shit can't come in black and that fucking voice. I just don't know why it's got to sound like that. And now we've got a bat who's afraid of his namesake, who let King Joffrey just up and walk away. And a Gotham City that's supposed to be all realistic and gritty, but the shitty reality is that it's just ugly, and it's not just the acting and the directing that's lacking, it's the fact that your Batman is boring. And I think that for such an interesting character, you've made a well-dull story. But I watched all 3 movies, and some of them even had their positive moments. Heath Ledger absolutely killed it as the Joker, as did Michael Caine as Alfred. Cillian Murphy was a wicked Scarecrow, and Anne Hathaway is probably my favourite live-action rendition of Catwoman, but I get that it's an adaptation and hardly something that's made for my attention. I'm one of those old-school Batman nerds that's far more into the comics and various animations. I just think that, well, it was bollocks, basically. Okay, right, sorry, one more thing. Fuck Bane and his stupid, zippy-sounding fucking voice. And fuck that moment in the last film where Catwoman and Batman are stood on top of the roof and Catwoman fucks off and Batman still stood there talking by himself. In that stupid fucking voice. Grow up. Right, cheers, that's it, thank you. I've got like flyers for my YouTube poetry and all that kind of stuff. I've got a night coming up in Camden, but I ain't got flyers for that, so you can't have one of those. But come get another flyer, cheers.
Thank you, Bridge. Your night in Camden, what date is that on?
It's the 3rd of May.
3rd of May.
It's been a bit on the 4th, but it's spoken word London night. So
Ah, nice, that's respect. It's a really good night. It's a spoken word at the end in Camden.
I need to speak to you about another feature.
Okay, cool. Also, the final reader of round one tonight is the hugely talented Mr. G. Can we give him a round of applause, please?
Okay, thanks a lot. Yeah, hi, I'm Mr. G. Mr. G run a night called Chill Pill. You can check us out on @ChillPillUK. What I'm going to do now is, I guess you probably heard, like, a couple of days ago, another young black teenager died on London streets. I do a lot of work with, like, in prisons and, like, PRUs. And so, like, we're dealing with a lot of, like, gang violence and knife crime. And I'm an old dude, so it's kind of difficult to sometimes relate to that mindset. So, this is a poem that I like to read out, and it's called Living on a Knife's Edge. There's a delicate balance over what follows fashion, as peer pressure unravels an adolescent pattern. You and your friends all like to ride bikes, and we did too. You sport the latest hairstyles that you like, and we did too. And we know that all teenage boys fight, and we did too. And you think you're the first to carry a knife? Well, we did too. This is where the problem lies. But this is the question that plagues younger minds. It's all too easy for older generations to confer and surmise that the violence of the day never occurred in our times. But things have changed. Heavier drugs are being blazed. Perceptions are rearranged. Strange wars are being waged around the planet, sending the message that if you want it, then grab it. The pen may be indeed mightier than the sword, but the sword makes its point sweetly doing damage. Such is the delicate balance that translates into high streets. This world is ruled by the mighty, and no one admires the weak. No one admires defeat. No one cares about the meek. So violence is a language that we all reliably speak. As every day we seek headlines of sensationalized crimes and newspapers offer up more space to advertise. As a campaign issue, it's hot, and even politicians realize there's more to the pressure in the pot that takes so many brothers' lives and makes so many mothers cry and scream the question why. Was it their child in that night, in that fight, that had to die? And die for what? Some trivial misunderstanding that could easily be stopped? Some petty argument fueled when tempers run hot? Or over what someone's got? Or false pride that's been mocked? So the outcome was the fist fight or the night sky being ignited by a gunshot. That person's got the latest pair of Nikes, and I want some too. That person's got a father in their family, and I want one too. That person's got oil in their country, and I want some too. You say you got hatred for me? Well, I've got some too. There's a delicate balance over what follows fashion, as peer pressure unravels an interesting pattern. An interesting challenge on how we choose to live our lives. Are we floating peacefully on the wings of a dove, or are we all perched weeping on the edge of a knife? Thank you.
Wow, thank you, Mr. T. Okay, that concludes our first round. We're going to take a 5 to 10 minute break, and then we'll be back with round two. Please don't take any drinks outside. You're not allowed, but please go get a drink from the bar, go and get some fresh air. We'll be back in 5.
No, I'm going to do another round, and then I need to go back.
Yeah. Thank you.
Hello, welcome back to round 2 of Spoken Word London this evening. We are live on YouTube. To start us off in round 2, we have the lovely regular Tom Wong. Can we give him a round of applause, please?
Hi everyone, how's it going? Yeah! Excellent. Okay, I'm going to perform one piece for you tonight, and it's about a nightmare that you never truly recover from. It's called The Story You Dine On. You secretly think, come on, bring it on, do your worst, spit out your hate reverse. On my face you want departing, with your fists as they're chanting, Chinky, 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 Chinky. I'm standing right over here, doing nothing, well maybe something, like roaring with life from lungs and heart thumping. And you're seeing a creature that in the movies would be the main colour feature, for in the black and white ads you see it in your stare. You want me dead. You say it and think it. Your devilish spirit, it's easier than packs to divide or knife. You can run faster with many 4 feet and drive your attack with many more stamps. You can take more turns at champ to better the beat. Can combine your spits into water cannon. A single pink truncheon, middle fingers more effective. Your verbal defective is sung like gospel choir, 4 against 1 for future evening gang recruitment to inspire. Yes, watch me cower. Yes, watch me run. Block all my escape. Overhead with the name calls that jangle your inner walls so much, maybe your orgasm. Or test my endurance. Push behind me fast to press in the intolerance. Perhaps throw ahead a bottle, or though landing it on my back, thud. You might even come rush with that. Or if hunting this way is too exhausting, why not trap me in the shop to minimise your stalking? Or keep me in the pub, or corner me in the loo, or swoop in whilst I'm in the park, or shoot at my confidence in a drive-by snatch while standing at the bus stop. You don't think you need vigilant for that? Or catch me during a fit or cough, or track me around a department store, not even the knicker section can throw you off. Or attack me even inside a gay bar, where equality inside this other human minority can only stretch so far. Chinky! 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 So yes, off you go. Thuggery that if slowed down and placed in front of kids, you mistake it for a clown at a show. Even on empty, your verbal intent still fills you plenty. Get the chinky! And as you shout and kick, maybe even hand job your dick, maybe even call your mother, all this excitement is enlightening areas of your life other. Fucking chinky. And as you continue on in your kicks and punches, with percussion practice like branches on sinew, until I satisfy that discussion in you, who in life you can't hold, whose dreams you can't grab, a job and a future, the bruise of this medley. But who's got time to think when you can blame him, that chinky? And as I'm shaking, maybe crying, a couple of days in bed I'd be lying, trying and not managing to leave the house, or managing and then not healing for years to come, I can be the story you dine on, the day you were someone. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Tom. And next up we have a lovely, talented poet who's fast becoming a regular at Spoken Word London. It is Rebecca Cooney. Can we give her a round of applause?
Hello. I'm going to risk touching this and hope it doesn't explode. This poem, I got into thinking, I've been in London coming up for 8 years now, and I've lived in about 6 different houses, and I kind of got into thinking just about how difficult it is to kind of build a life on something that's never really going to be yours. This is called Home Comforts. Rented van driven by rented friend on the promise of drinks and dinner arrives by rented piece of pavement £2.50 per half hour. Open shared rented entrance into a hallway that by dint of being shared belongs to no one but the house. Rented key turns in rented door, opens rented door into rented space. Bare mattress on rented bed keeps its secrets, the intimacies of those gone before. Their ghosts are in the echoes of our feet on rented floorboards, in the smell of fresh paint, chasing out the tang of pot which hung thick in their vanished version of this rented flat. Rented friend helps move furniture purloined from parents into rented rooms, and leaves when time is up. 4 degrees between two of us, at least one of them rented by loans, yet neither of us can make sense of the sodding dials on the rented heater, which clunks and whirs into action on a whim, like some poltergeist staking prior claim, or else sulks in chilly silence. We drink champagne in overcoats and toast to the life we've rented together. At the housewarming, rented fridge gives up the will to live, and the smell of rotting food clears out rented kitchen quicker than any drunk crying girl ever could, while someone breaks the rented toilet seat. Later we will row over who will clean the rented bath, and who seems to have smashed all the wine glasses we own. My blue and purple cushions look strange on rented orange sofa. Until he hangs his Homer Simpson version of Monk's The Scream. And suddenly, they're bought to match furniture on which the lease has expired, and suddenly the jumble of colours, mine and his and the Lord of the Lands, begin to make a kind of sense. My books find their homes on rented shelves, his records theirs. We joke about buying our own place, an idea as far off as planting our flag on the moon, so instead I plant bulbs in rented earth, and slowly our roots begin to grow. In the rented bed, he will tell me he wants to spend the rest of his life with me, and I will tell him I do not remember the moment I fell in love with him. I only remember realising that I already knew I had, the way you do not remember learning to navigate the house you grew up in, only that you will always know it by heart. This house belongs to someone else. These rooms are their property. But here, within these rented walls, is where I am, is where he is, making rented house our home. Thanks, guys.
Thank you so much, Rebecca. Next up on round 2 we have Izzy.
I'm gonna move this. Oh, no, it's fine. I've never done this before, so bear with. Hopefully I'm going to read 2 things. This one's called Angry Feminist. I often get accused of being an angry feminist, a man-hating woman, a political pessimist, a venomous environmentalist fighting against all male supremacists, a left-wing socialist, practically a communist, a specialist in campaigning for female dominance. You see, men aren't a waste of space. They just waste the space they are privileged enough to have ownership of. Since the day they were conceived, as they are naturally perceived as being stronger and wiser supervisors and colonizers, survivors and better drivers because of their gender. And this discussion of privilege is at the bottom of their agenda. Because they are not aware of their possession or our oppression as women, but have an obsession with the femme in feminism, saying they'd rather associate with equalism to remain untainted by our hairy-legged, bra-burning activism. Because feminism isn't attractive, isn't productive, but is made up of combative women who just want attention by disruption of typical female convention, saying no when we're told to get back in the kitchen, or deciding we don't really want to have children, or saying fuck you to the pervy men doing our building. When people accuse me of being an angry feminist, I won't claim to be innocent. I will give them a list of the reasons why I have a right to be angry, and frankly, I'm proud to be guilty of this, as there are worse things than being an angry feminist.
Oh, wow.
This one, a bit more solemn. It's about my personal experience of the private mental health sector. I don't want to be labelled by the words we've exchanged. My individual problems commonised on a page. I must fit into a category that's all mental illness is. Diagnose the problem, then find the appropriate medication to give. You say a prescription is justified, but now I feel empty, I'm zombified and unsatisfied by this indirect homicide. I don't want to be soulless, just less sold on the idea that I need to obsess over every single thing I ingest, yet you insist it's what's best for my health. But your increase in wealth and my happiness just don't quite correlate, and my right to be irate has never been more clear. I've seen you 5 times so you can diagnose my pains, but it seems that our contact is simply for your financial gains, and sometimes I feel like I'm paying off your mortgage in return for these drugs that will make me forget why I needed you in the first place. And I think, wow, what a waste of time and money and energy that I didn't possess. Your debts may be cleared, but my mind's still a mess, and I know that no good deed will ever be selfless. And I never had faith, but I have to confess that I thought if anyone could help me, you could. But it's your definition of help that I misunderstood. I refuse to be told that I'm part of a trend, and I know that you probably didn't intend to offend by stripping me of my individuality, saying I'm a number, contributing to our statistically based society, saying that I should feel solidarity because there are thousands of others just like me, paying money for people who use and abuse their vulnerability to validate and highlight their medicine degrees. Stop helping yourself to dissect my psychosis, driving me to think self-help is my only choice because my diagnosis is that you care less about me than I do about myself. Even when I'm starving and hurting and bleeding and crying and underachieving and over-obsessing, you care less because you sold me a dreamlike solution that didn't exist. When in reality, all I wanted was a way out of this. And I'm still looking for it. But don't recommend me a therapist because I don't need one. I will never again pay a fee for my freedom.
Wow, thank you very much to Izzy. Fourth in round 2, we have Chris. Can we give him a round of applause?
Hi. Hey, look at that, people said hi back, it's great. This is a poem about being a mathematician and a biologist. Yeah. Your body is a complex thing. I tried to write a formula for dating a maths teacher, but there are so many things you just can't factor in, and I found it so hard to function. The algorithm took me off at conversational tangents about things that I remembered that she said she liked, until you couldn't differentiate between her words and mine, until she told me, this isn't real. Now, maybe my science of choice was a mistake and I should have stuck with having chemistry, but I never react fast enough, and being exothermic is such a waste of energy. And anyway, my mathematic infatuation started early, for all the curled lips of new friends, for all the, oh, I always hated that, for all the beautiful people who would stare doggedly at my shoes while they talked to me. Don't worry, I have good shoes. I don't know if you know how it feels to be imaginary, but maths is only as good as whatever X is pretending to be, and whenever I try to tear down this world of 3 dimensions into 2, I spill ink on squared paper, and I talk too fast and too loud, and I'm scared that I'm losing you. So I'm doing my best to learn something new. So that my friends fall head over heels, I can give them expert advice like, you love her, with all of your heart, which just happens to pump blood to your penis. A rhythmic delivery of erythrocytes, thrombocytes, lymphocytes, monophytes, neutrophils, eosinophils, and basophils. Your hypothalamus splashes dopamine through your cortex until you are high on the smell of her. You love her with all of your parts. Your body is a complex thing. If any god made us, and just as an aside, it seems more likely to me that we are born out of entropy, coincidence, or circumstance. But if any god made us, then he or she or it has made us fragile. Minute mutations away from never having existed. The patina of freckles on your face is so complicatedly laced into the bases of you that you are a kind of structural phenomenon, like wishbones or the parade of increasingly ugly buildings on the London skyline. Your body is a complex thing. I want to get into a neurofibrillary tangle with you so they will put up an amyloid plaque for us, but as the days go by, no one will remember why. I want our circadian rhythms to sync so that when we dream, we do it perfectly in time, so that when we dance, we do it perfectly aligned. Your body is a complex thing. I am terrified that age will daub me a plaster chin and the corners of my mouth will turn down into it. Your body is a complex thing. It is disgusting that you leave me with no breath in my lungs. You are flights of stairs and shame and the way my heart aches after running. Your body is a complex thing. I do not know what I like more, your freckles or the spaces between them. Thank you. How am I doing for time?
You got 2 minutes.
Hey, loads of time, that's good. This is called She'll Grow a Shell. My friend Emma is learning to be more dangerous. She is tired of quiet men following her home at night. She is tired of the boy in our office who doesn't believe that this actually happens to her, who says, "People just don't fancy you that much, Emma." This is England, and he and I are relatively safe by virtue of our size and our maleness and our skin, by virtue of things that have made us safe for years, and he has never noticed. When he says, "I've just never seen it happen," I wonder if he is willfully looking away, or if he thinks this is how we do. How we play romance as if it was fiction, and the beautiful woman whose eye he caught in the line for the bank was really giving him the eye, and not the side eye. Not the "who the fuck does this guy think he is" eye. And I was surprised when he was surprised that she didn't reply to the text he sent to her fake number. My friend Emma is learning to be more dangerous. She wants to snap back at the world with lobster claws because lobsters are hard and hidden and hold on forever. They're small and beautiful and practically immortal until they are caught. Emma does not plan on getting caught. It is a dangerous world, but not for me. And not for the boy who says, "I'm glad we're bombing Syria. We had to make a show of force, a show of intent." And the executioners cheer and sing gleeful songs and drop their righteous guillotines, thunderbolt bombs, an orchard of trees sown over fields of corpses that will never bear fruit. They will be sawn down and pressed into pamphlets, and each one will read "Solidarity." And I scream at him.
Ding, ding.
It is midday in our central London Gower Street office, and I have screamed at him. My friend Emma is learning to be more dangerous because she is tired. Thank you.
Thank you very much to Chris. Next up we have a wonderful regular at Spoken Word London who's hosting a night coming up soon, which I'm sure she'll tell you all about. It is Iris. Can you go around with it?
Hi, Iris. I like words and I don't like microphones. This poem is about silence. If there has to be silence, I want my silence to be deep and airborne, never bound, careless and coy, slippery and sound. I want it to spill. Slip between the creases of cobblestone paths, meander between weeds, smooth their wrinkles and swear them to secrecy. Shuffle through park gates, slither up bark stems, smooth the leaves string-like robes and beg them not to fall. I want it to glow and seep through the window a curly child forgot to close and ruffle his hair and tell him not to waste his seconds in sleep but to lift his tired lids and tell him to do his worst before worse scratches at the back of his skull and forgets to breathe. Let it race across our tongues in seconds too graceful to stain with words too dense to describe. Skid between the waves of laughter clawing at the footsteps of a barely limping joke. Stick to the lips of lovers in that precious second of life before they meet. I want my silence to hum through the opera when the last tone strikes and die in the hands of Justin at the height of his baggy 17s, barely starting and already bored, shooting sighs at the cello until he sees it speak the dream he hides in the soles of his fingers, hoping he might find the time to see and sigh different. Skip between the orphan tea towels and worn figurines, scattered in rank forgotten drawers. Tell them not to mind. Tell them she was too old. Lie. Tell them there's a grand scheme of things, things like them. Wrap around the columns of justice and teach them to breathe deeper and color them with patience. Swallow the lies we could forget to need. I want my silence to shudder at the sight of every empty speech. to wake the dead from their follies, and living from their dreams. If there has to be silence, I want mine to sing. Give it the luxury of carelessness, give it the feet of sleep, the soluble strength of rivers too wide to keep, the range of 7 winds, the height of younger minds, the weight of ash. Give it the texture of time and the strength to expand and the courage to last. Thank you. I'm running this event, and I put this here because I always forget what to say when I try to plug stuff because it's really awkward. So it's called Drawing Breath. It's on the 15th of April, and it's about 10 poets and 10 visual artists. Each poet is paired with a visual artist. The poet performs for 5 minutes. While that's going on, the visual artist is producing a simultaneous response, so it's like live art plus poetry in one event. So yeah, I'm the short girl in the weird hat, and I got lots of these, but actually way smaller and in black and white because that's cheap. Talk to me.
Thank you to Iris. Okay, and before we go to a break to finish off round 2, we have Jeremiah. Can you give him a round of applause? Jeremiah here? Ah, brilliant. Keep it going, keep it going.
Hi, my name's Jeremiah Kenny. I'm going to do a poem about love, or my interpretation of love. Hopefully you guys agree, okay? What's love? Knowing that you really shouldn't put all of your eggs into one basket, but you still go ahead and put all of your eggs into his or hers. Now you know the potential risks, but you're trusting that you won't get hurt. But you put your very own feelings to the side because you're so consumed by this love that you put his feelings first. Sorry, I'm gonna start again. Sorry. Now what's love? Knowing that you really shouldn't put all of your eggs into one basket, but you still go ahead and put all of your eggs into his or hers. Now you know the potential risks, but you're trusting that you won't get hurt. So you put your very own feelings to the side because you're so consumed by this love, you put their feelings first. Because you want to give them confirmation that the feelings that you both share surpasses infatuation, and that you're more than capable of placing their heart in a secure location. So you create this safe flat space to put their heart inside, and it can only be accessed by a combination. And that's now been permanently tattooed in your heart. So you play your part to ensure they don't depart, because the only way that code can get access is someone tears you apart. But you're so in love, you're not even thinking about getting scarred. Because from the very first moment you found that you were compatible, you instantly planted the seed. And daily communications watered the seed, so it grew into a plant. But you didn't overdose, you gave it space to breathe. And as your feelings grew stronger, the roots grew longer. Now this is never ending love, you both believe, because you both can see that the roots are getting deep. So thoughts of extending the family tree is the only time that one of you think to leave. Now even though the sunny days for months away, you're not even looking for a reason. Because this is real love and it can blossom through all seasons. See, love ensures the branches don't wither, even when the leaves fall. And that's marriage talk, because love remains in sickness and health, and for rich and for poor. And you understand that sometimes love doesn't go to plan. And love is like a journey, and sometimes you get caught up in a traffic jam. And even when you think you've made a right turn, you encounter a dead end because you didn't see the signs. But you don't panic, you reverse. Then you do a U-turn so you can recalculate the route with your best friend. See, love is seeing your partner as a king of a queen, because to you they're supposed to be royalty. So you both see fit that trust is instilled, so you both exercise loyalty. Because you don't want your infidelity to be the reason why your partner hurts. So you do your utmost best to ensure this works. Because you don't want to live in regret. And when you both argue, you both make sure that you forgive and forget. See, love is understanding that your partner could have been hurt in the past. And although it wasn't your fault, you still work with them and the insecurities to make sure this lasts. Why? Because love is a team game. And sometimes you have to carry your teammate. And you understand that there's a vacant position in your partner's heart, so you apply yourself so you can be the successful candidate. Because their love is the salary to which you gravitate. And you understand that Valentine's Day isn't just for one day or one night, but essentially it's for 365 days for the rest of their life. And love is understanding that sometimes you've got to put up a really good fight. But love is also understanding when to let go when you both tried before you might. Thank you, Jeremiah.
Awesome, thank you very much, Jeremiah. Okay, we're going to take a short 5-minute break. Please do go and get a drink or get some fresh air. We'll be back in 5. Hello. Welcome back to round 3. If you'd like to take your seat. Just wait for a few people at the front. Just to reiterate, the night that Iris is hosting that she mentioned briefly is called Drawing Breath, and one of the featured poets is going to be the founder and host of this night, Pat Cash. He's going to be performing some poetry, which is a rare treat. So yeah, do come along to that. It's on Friday the 15th of April. It starts at 7:30. Doors are at 6:30. And we'll share it over the Facebook page. So if you want to find out anything about any of the events that have been mentioned, or find the link to this YouTube video, because it will be on YouTube as a very long video after it's gone out live tonight. You can find it at the Facebook page, Spoken Word, www.facebook.com/Spoken Word London. And we'll share, if you've got anything that you want to share, send it that way and we will share it over the page. Okay, first up on round 3, we have Oswald. Can we give him a round of applause, please? Here's Oswald Smith. Excellent. Can you keep it going?
Hey everyone. As I said, I go by the name Oswald, and this is my story called Badamori. Don't be shaking that ass if you can't handle this dick. Don't be taking this piss if you can't clean out this shit. Don't be claiming a crown if you can't walk like a king. See where I'm from, I'd rather hold the tech than beholding the truth. I mean, I rather beholding the truth than beholding the tech. From the streets where the niggas beholding their breath, just to watch the next step, take a leap of faith. I grew up on a household that was sisters from the 78th. Closey little channel, oh damn, better than most, better than Sunday morning, sugary toast. This is my church flow. This is my walking down the aisle married to the gang flow. Oh no, whoop whoop. Blue lights, silence for the popo. I'm the holy one, I'm the only one I roll with 12 on my set. Cause even Jesus had 12 holy ones, he rolled with 12 when he said, strapped with his holy Bible. I realize I'm the one who's unreliable. I realize I'm the Judas within my own disciples. I realize I'm the only one who can guarantee my own survival. See, we started off with 20 niggas, came on to 10, 5 of them dead and 5 of them in pen. They claim I'm the lucky one cause I can elevate from this space. I wish my tears could be a morphine drip and we can take a trip, strap on our angel wings and fly from this space. But what they don't really get, this is my only space. This is my life, this is my death, this is my lonely grave. No, we don't talk the same. No, we don't walk the same. Cause you may be from the same borough, or you may be from the same area. But Britain's the only place where you can see a poor council estate. And right across the same fucking road, you can take a £1 million trip to a private house on the estate. See, this is how it goes. I grew up as a misfit, the darkest skin interest. They don't want to see me blow up like a black James Bond. My word is my mouth, my word is my mouth, my word is my bond. Oh, you sound like so-and-so. You sound like you took a chance. You sound like K-Dot when he was performing in France. You sound like shut the fuck up. I came here to fuck this shit up. The voice of lost generations. I shed my tears with fatherless mothers and poverty-driven patients. Nappy kids who lack love and struggle for second-class education. I'm losing faith, I'm losing time, I'm losing patience. I use my words for foreplay. I eat a pussy with my metaphors. I'm like, baby, you can have this plus all my flaws. This is that vulgar shit. This is that sit back, keep your head up, pump your fists and shit. I'm the winning lotto to her very purse. Ghetto kids, that be the motto. 1,000,000 miles from this place, that is our aim, that is our aim, that is our golden ticket way home. They say the blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice. I say the nappy the hair, the closer the roots. Oh, we come a long way from shining the boots. So gone a long way from finding the truth. I'm a peaceful nigga. Oops, sorry, Sister Rito. I'm a peaceful brother. No, sorry, repercussions living up in my postcode. But best believe there's no bitch in this nigga. Oh, you feeling lucky? Come and try me, my nigga. I saw the devil in the face. I told him he can suck his mom, cause I roll with Jesus pieces. I roll with Jesus pieces. I roll with Jesus pieces. Like a Christian hippie in the 90s. I roll with Jesus pieces. Like holy, holy, holy God, can you save the man? This ain't nothing but a child looking for his plan. And this ain't nothing but an average story from a nappy Negro in the ghetto Balamory. Thank you.
Thank you very much to Oswald. Next up in round 3, we have a wonderful regular at Spoken Word London. It is James R. Reed.
How's it going? So I just got some haikus in a few different categories. First one is drug atrocities that I've seen some of them, but yeah. The dodgy postie shot up in the pub toilet, still in his work clothes. Dave with psychosis wanked inappropriately at the Ivy pool bar. With the spatula, they scraped Dave's damaged penis off the barbecue. The same Dave from the wanking in the pool bar. Jules made $30 by scraping the Panadol sign off the white tablet. So like, some context. Panadol's, we got Panadol here, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. Ecstasy costs $30 in Australia. Then there's a few here that the category I've just put, just like people and then slash drinking, so like pubs, I guess. Category for this next bit of 3 haikus. Before going home, Sue drank the big Weatherspoons, clean out of Strongbow. Midweek beer? No chance. He regrets marrying young, just like his father. Tom drank a full pint for every one of Jane's halves, and they found their groove. Then these last ones, the last of the segments, is about working in advertising agencies, which I do sometimes when I don't make money from haikus. So a famous person walks through a street explaining a pretty good deal. Quite a common theme. Designers build decks, project managers book cabs, order pizzas, and cry. Come in on a Sunday to have some Facebook ideas for a muesli bar. Kind of shit that you have to do sometimes. Jen showed loyalty and now she's kicking herself and checking LinkedIn. Wade's prog rock tattoos make the team look creative. But Wade regrets them. His art had failed him, so Trent sighed, resolved to make the best tampon ad. The rest are all about animals and they're specific to Australia. So I'm not going to do them. Thanks.
Thank you very much to James, Ari. And next up we have a newcomer to Spoken Word London. It is Jay. Can you give a round of applause, please?
Jack's a fucking psycho. That's what the people around him say. And right now his head does feel somewhat all over the place. He feels cold and isolated and he's buried beneath barricades that he constructed for himself. These walls once had a purpose, but now the purpose is in doubt. But wear a mask for long enough and you may lose your soul. Hiding in a cocoon of emotional anesthesia, it's impossible to feel pain if you stop feeling anything. And everyone around seems to lap up the false narrative. As he keeps feeding him, he wears a sick smile, but inside he feels hollow. And he wishes someone would tell him to stop playing games. He wishes someone would tell him that they could see through his lies. But no one ever tells him that, so the game goes on, another day, another night. Sometimes in moments of calmness and clarity, he tries to talk to people about how he feels inside. But this information does not compute and is brushed aside. If some fragments creep in, they're labelled as oratory. After all, Jack's a fucking psycho, everything he says is probably a lie. And people like to see what they expect to see. And Jack knows in the city there's no room for weakness. There's no time to pause to let his wounds heal. So he puts his suit on, he puts his mask on, and he falls further into elaborate deceit. Jack's a fucking psycho. And one day he'll probably live up to that name. One moment in a moment of blind and nihilistic rage, he'll probably stick a knife between someone's ribs, destroy something in an attempt to achieve some catharsis. That will be to no avail. And then they'll say they saw it coming, and that Jack was always a fucking psycho, but Jack isn't a psycho, not yet anyway. His deep sadness just manifests in an irregular way, but the more that he's ostracised, the more he mutates. And when he's locked up in a cell, condemned by law, by society, and most of all by his own conscience, and how his conscience works in strange ways, I think he'll have forgotten that he ever had a soul. I think when they say Jack's a fucking psycho, he will have forgotten that that's just a game he used to play. And when he forgets that, then it's probably too late. Thank you. Each morning, you sit on the same train as me. On the surface, doing the same as me. But I'm playing a whole different game, really. See, while you spent 7 hours asleep, I was razor sharp, tuned to another station. I was chopping up doses of my favourite medication, but there's no longer traces of the original salvation. Just a levelling out, a coping strategy. By day 3, the high is just my normality. I should stop, that would be the conventional wisdom. But I've got a job to go to, so it isn't so simple. And with each night, fear grows as sanity decreases. Can I make it through the crash, the crippling physical weakness, and the unavoidable emotional bleakness? And the financial black hole I've got to explain, and the pain of knowing I've done the same thing again, and on one level, truly wanting to change. But knowing that in only a matter of days, the world will look a lot different with the sound turned down. And I want the bright lights, the adrenaline rush, and I'll chase the clarity so mixed up with female flesh and the spilling roulette wheel. There's no other way to replicate excitement I feel, and it all tastes so sweet for a day and a night. It's after that that the flickers of psychosis ignite. And at work I'm on point though I'm jittery. And people think I'm a bit strange, but they still smile at me. And I'm quick to escape to carry on the chase, and tomorrow morning I'll be walking on an even tighter rope. But a part of me loves deceiving everyone I know. It indulges the demons that lurk in my head, the voices that want me dead. And it amazes me how invisible a person can be. I'm just another sewage young man walking through the city on the tube in the morning, buying into the same lies. Another cog in the machine, but just with slightly redder eyes. Thank you very much.
Hope YouTube enjoyed that. The noise, obviously they enjoyed your poem. Okay, next up we have Nat Steinhaus, sorry.
Hi. Okay, this is a poem about BuzzFeed and how they did an article called 9 Times a Law-Abiding Citizen Help People with Guns. I mean, people are actually going to read that and be like, yeah. In a hipstery cafe full of splintery tables and laptops with cables that sprout from every corner like vines, sits a little guy with a face that's simultaneously spotty and dry, with his mate who looks about 9 and has brought her own juice or tea or piss or wine. And they're talking with their hands, like their hands are rolling dice, about indie bands and weed and articles on Vice and BuzzFeed, about all the LGBT and women's issues, i.e. catcalling and people who are gay and proud but not allowed to kiss in restaurants. No use to me. There's a gay bloke with a shrug as his mug gets pulled from his hair and he's beaten by the mob and by the police. No use to me, grins a woman who doesn't speak because she's playing a little game of hide and seek with her husband and his hard hands and words and alcoholic breath for the second time this week. And no use to me, says me, I say, because I agree and so do they, sitting at their splintered table, that it should be okay to go about your day and not get shouted at or whistled at for being female or gay. But it's no use to anyone if they're not making changes but just scorning the torn-off corner they think is the bigger picture. So they might as well whinge about anything, like e-books. Ugh. Those little turds. Because who gives a shit about words compared to the smell of freshly printed ink and paper? Where's the romance of lady and lover if you can't run your hands up the length of a stiff hardcover of either your own book or that of another? And where's the thrill of a thriller if you can't feel like a proper killer as everyone sees you on the tube cracking a paperback at the spine so you can feel like you've got someone's neck on the Northern Line as easy to twist as a Rubik's Cube? Or maybe it's all okay because they're still talking in the same inactivist vein, which is great, because what better way to gain your views than from a website made not for the news but to entertain? Say you're 14 and you get your kicks watching a show all in one go on Netflix. Meanwhile, you think the House of Commons is a slang term for a council estate. But it's cool because soon through the slits in the shutters, buttercup yellow streams of the real world flutter in like golden moths. And beneath the sun's bright morning blaze, outside one of many cafes, a woman walks and gets whistled at. Now she's totally asking for it walking, like, hey, this trip to the co-op for milk could be a trip back to your place, handsome stranger. But this pair, they sit and stare from the cafe window thinking, she's asking for it. But the internet says a woman is never asking for it. She is a woman, therefore she is not asking for it. Bingo, got it right. And now BuzzFeed is one of the powers that be, because ignorance is a thing of the past. Now they've shone their own light on those who can't be asked to see. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much to Nat Steinhaus. Sorry. And next up, our penultimate reader in round 3 is Louisa. Give her a round of applause.
Hello. Hi. Thank you for the 2 rounds of applause, by the way. This is a poem that is sort of currently untitled. So if you have any title suggestions, let me know. Thanks. I cleaned the lamb's blood from the kitchen sink with care, like I am making a mistake. Another animal dead today, full of flies again. They tell me that at least deaths of animals are better than deaths of parents. Every night since I was 11, my dreams have all been about the deaths of my parents. In the dreams, after they die, it is as though I am drowning through water, but instead I am floating like a head of lettuce. When I was 13, I had a dream in which my head was cut off like the head of a lettuce, spent that year walking as though I lacked a head. Could taste blood in the deep crevices of my throat, on my tongue, around my teeth, when I realized that my head was still there, that my body was still too soft and too normal. There are still nights when I stand in front of the bathroom mirror, pinching at the fat of my stomach, waiting for it to skim away like cream from milk surface. Do not mourn what you cannot control. Do not mourn the lamb, do not mourn the body. In the morning, another lamb's bleats echo from the fields into the house, and my hands suddenly become dense with blood. The second poem The second poem is called The Body Poem. Here goes. 1. Last night, Jay told me her body was falling apart. I didn't know how to respond. I know bodies without bones too well, but I don't know how to talk about them. I don't know how to parse away the skin from the bone of a pig when I'm standing in the middle of a cold barn more naked than I was when I was born. 2. I am naked with boys who I don't know, but who fold me in half anyway, then fold me apart, then spit me out like I am the bitter taste of a dead dog. 3. Keysville, New York is upstate, is a place for stained dresses and burnt milk and spoiled prayers, where I spent every summer in a body made for somebody smaller. I'm realizing now that I'm not small. Every day I'm the opposite of small, but these boys still look at me with frightening scrutiny, like I'm a goat who belongs in a bed. And if I'm not fed, I will give out. 4. Sun hangs across the sky like blood across my underwear. Yours or mine? From which part of the body?
Thank you very much. Okay, you might notice the rounds are a little bit longer tonight. We had a lot of people sign up for the reserve list, so I'm doing my best to squeeze them on. So the last reader of round 3 is Conrad, and if you signed up for the reserve list, you'll be on in the next round. So can we have a big round of applause for Conrad?
Hi guys, hi. We've all had that feeling when you have too much coffee. You feel really jittery. I always feel like tuning forks out of tune. Like Anyway, so I've learned not to have too much coffee, but there is someone that I really want to have coffee with. And so this is called Second Shot. The little coffee shop bell tingles down my spine. The door hinges disagree with one another, squawking like angry crows. The bored barista thinks about his audition. When will they be handing me a macchiato? He wonders. A moustached accent with an idiot attached says nothing, loudly. And we sit and we sip on the same iridescent oil well that smells of the future burning the past. You look up like you've never seen a cloud before, this one made of blue smoke. The liquid darkness is on fire in our hands and we trip. A velvet elbow nudges our cup off the edge. Falling is such a rush. It breaks in half on the wooden pamper beneath us. Then rolling like liberated hubcaps, we come to rest. Two porcelain smiles, separated, covered in what we held between us. I saw half that cup in my dreams, upside down, and your frown felt like a dripping wet jumper that I couldn't take off, that you wanted to take off. As the scent of sedition signals to the catcalls of your conscience, I slip inside your pregnant mind and think, I love what you've done with the place. And it's Friday, but it's February. And it's sunny, but it's cold. And I miss you too. It's not that you had me at goodbye, just when, because, well, we know why. We all want a handful, just not more than a handful, wrapped around that mended cup, veined with redemption. A little less perfect, a little more wonderful, overflowing. Because if you don't take a risk, what a risk you've taken. As in the end, I have the means to dance the colour into your dreams. The best people I know are dynamic. They change, they evolve, they adapt. They don't just say I am what I am, they move forward. And it's, especially last week, I've been rutting and I just realised you just got to, just get going sometimes. So this is called neuroplasticity. Thoughts know the roads around their home, often forgetting their offspring have flown to fledgling nests in infant trees, blown back, shown back, homing on the breeze. Those paths muddied on the wetter days can wrong-foot you in the summer haze. Deciding to be decisive is a decision if action can be seduced by the vision. So find new sanctuaries in your memory. To change the tune, start with the melody. A rut is just a groove where the music's departed. So if you need to move, then just get started. How long? 1 minute? Okay, so this is the first, you know that feeling when you don't feel spontaneous, you're saying the same story to someone again and again, all the different people, and you're like, we've all, it's called the charlatan. You know him, you've been him, I've been him, we've all been him. He plays it as a blessing, but he knows it as a curse. The charlatan knows his lines, but he does not own the verse. Borrowed flesh illuminates his projection, but the carcass is the scale of his reflection. The rabble they're seen as judge and jury, but primal fuel yearns to burn more clearly. Fingerprints, they fade amongst the mirth, no island created on this earth. The quest for moments takes him far, but the journey home will set him free to a revelation more spectacular, that within lies his liberty. Thank you. Just before I go, end of the month I do up in Hackney Downs at Longepot, there's a night called Ear Smoke. Type it in, Google will do the rest.
Thank you, Conrad. If you share that over the Spoken Word Facebook page, I'll share that for you. Okay, before we get to the break, I just want to take a moment to remind you all to buy a drink, because the venue give us the space for free, so it's a way of supporting, but also to thank you to Ailey and Mitch behind the bar, who are doing a great job all night. Can we give them a round of applause? Okay, we're going to take a short 5-minute break, and then we'll be back for round 4. Thank you very much. Hello. Welcome back to the final round of Spoken Word London this evening. Next up, and just for the sake of the YouTube video, our next performer doesn't want to be filmed, so if you could go to black screen for this one. And there's also, Paulina is here filming a documentary. She's doing it about Vogue Fabrics, the venue, and the community that's featured here, so you can look out for that as well. We'll share it on the Facebook page when it comes out. So next up we have a wonderful poet who I still perform at Word Up in Harlesden on Monday night, and her name is Thora. Thora, did I say right? Give you a round of applause. Thank you very much. Okay, next up we have a wonderful poet who I first met at this crazy night that I think it's going to start up again. It's called Buster Rhymes, where poets take over the top deck of a bus going through Hackney and just shout poetry at any randoms that happen to be there. So can we welcome Anise, please?
Hello. I read the news today, oh boy. 3 blasts, 30 dead, hundreds injured, much was said. One suspect who may have fled, slap a bounty in his head. There's calls to arms and calls for meds, calls for calm and calls for heads, calls to close the borders now, calls that we'll take back our towns, calls to rage and scream and shout, calls to open hearts, not mouths. These calls will stir the dust, but I know that when it settles, the fallout reaches far beyond the shards of glass and metal. Because now there is no doubt, we are at war with them. But exactly what's meant by we, them, and war is anyone's guess. Besides, who the fuck am I? Who the fuck am I to speak of solidarity when I look like them, share roots with them, I read the same damn book as them? My words can, and maybe even will, be picked apart for hypocrisy by those on either side of the spectrum because my upbringing made me who I am, not who it wanted me to be. But we'll save that for another poem, because this is not about me. Nor is this about mass media vultures, patrolling the airwaves in 24-hour cycles to steal a scoop of what's left of still warm bodies, regurgitating cherry-picked headline quotes, opinion pieces and opinion pieces, and the odd morsel of actual news, carefully garnished to sit neatly with today's choice of bigger picture. This is not about right-wing reactionaries intent on dragging us kicking and screaming back to the good old days that probably never existed, amid calls to build a bigger wall, bring in the drawbridge and drown that inferno in gasoline. Nor is this about left-wing crusaders who turn a blind eye to atrocities in the name of tolerance and would scale the moral high ground to watch the world burn. This is not about the vast majority of Muslims who, though far from perfect, are ordinary, peace-loving human beings, nor is it about the sizable minority who cannot now be ignored, who cannot be written off as misguided lunatics with no basis in religion, because now they have the numbers, the means, the ways and the voice, as well as the will and the scripture to back them up. This is not about the political, historical, economic, sociological, cultural, environmental, or completely random factors that may or may not have led to this situation, because no amount of finger pointing will change the fact that we are in this situation. But this is not about that. This is about the victims whose names we're not really sure we've ever actually heard, whose faces we'll soon forget because they look so damn ordinary they blend right in with the hundreds we've already seen today. Children playing in the street, unarmed teenagers, pregnant mothers and hard-working fathers, every single one of whom left home that day not knowing they would never come back. Every single one of whom thought it would never happen to me. Civilians, people trying to make it day by day. In Lahore, Brussels, Ankara, Istanbul, Paris, Cairo, Jakarta, Darfur, San Bernardino, and that's just this year. And I don't have any answers. I don't have an explanation. I don't have a solution. I don't know the implications of the path that we're choosing. I can't offer inspiration or hope or resolution. All I have are observations, reservations and confusion. This is not about terrorism, this is about terror. And that is what we're all up against. Thank you. How am I doing for time? 2 minutes, brilliant. Right. So I also rap. This is a song I wrote recently. I'm just going to do a cappella. Normally I'm going to have like a big cheesy chorus in the middle. I'm not going to do that, so I'm just going to do 2 verses back to back. This is called Dreaming. I dream of good friends, I dream of good thoughts. I dream of sweet-scented sunsets and rooftops. I dream of laying in the sand to count the stars at night. I dream of being the kind of man who had the heart to fight. Sometimes I dream of being brave enough to bear my wounds. Other nights I'd rather be the baddest fighter in the room. I dream that I'm the type that always knows just what to say. Dream away tomorrow till it fades into the day. I dream of conversation long into the early hours, of friends we've had, good times and bad, and how we'll change the world. So we'll leave our doubts in ashtrays and our hang-ups at the door. Crack a smile and laugh and well, we find ourselves in more. So I dream of tearing off this mask I've crafted layer by layer, but scared to try in case that by the end there's nothing there. I dream of drifting off to dance with clouds and feel the air. I dream of waking up with somebody who really cared. So don't wake me when I'm dreaming. I'm not made right for this world. I'm ungrateful, lazy, spiteful, jealous, hateful and absurd. I'll duck down from my soapbox when it's time to take a stand and offer empty platitudes before a helping hand. I'll plug my flaws with humour for the risk of sounding weak and spend most conversations waiting for my turn to speak. I've spilled my guts to strangers to escape what I've consumed and felt lonelier in crowds than I have in empty rooms. I've treated those around me worse than folk I claim to loathe. Haven't burned too many bridges, but I've let a few corrode. Vent to microphones, but won't venture there alone. I've been manning up so long I don't know which expressions I own. Get the sense of promoting someone else's sense of importance. Step with best intentions unknown, setting first impressions in stone. Greet the dock and hear them roar, my dreams recede the shore. Free to talk won't leak the sore, I'll reap the seeds I've sown. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And next up on round 4 we have Christian.
Well, hello everybody. This is fucking awkward. I was told there would be other comedians here. So, this has all been depressingly lovely. How are we all doing tonight? Good. We doing good? Yeah. I'm gonna ask for a brief call and response, like you might do in AA. Those meetings that some of us may have attended or inevitably will attend at some point. All I'm gonna say is, hi, my name is Christian, and I just want you to say hi, Christian. Hi, Christian. I was gonna wait and say hi, Christian again, but this is fine. Hi, my name is Christian.
Hi, Christian.
Oh, beautiful. Just beautiful. I'm Christian, and I'm addicted to temporary validation from strangers. Thank you. Let me just pull my notes out here, because I am completely unprepared. I haven't done stand-up in like 5 months. I feel like my life is an iPhone that has been locked by a 2-year-old. Like I have to wait another 3 or 4 hours before I can actually get to all my shit. Let's see what I got here. When I was just a little boy in short pants, I wished upon a star very, very hard that Shrek, as a human from Shrek 2, would come to life. And that's me now. I'll tell a little bit about myself. I suffer from resting bitch face. I audibly gasp at dogs on the street. There's one more thing that I wrote down that I can't fucking remember. But I'm talking about myself, so this is unusual. Oh, this place is lovely. I was confused about which penis to use when I was gonna go pee before. Like, how did you guys get an accurate photo of my dick? I pulled mine out to like kind of give a mirror image. Unfortunately, it did not go great. So, I'm American. Respond to that as you will. I'm gauging for the rest of us back home. I'm here on a study abroad program, but really I am here until that dumpster fire fucking extinguishes itself. Oh my god, what the fuck was I saying? Jesus, thank you for the bar staff, by the way, because you have gotten me to this point. I don't believe in God. Based on the poetry of everyone else, I believe nobody else in this room fucking believes in God. But I do believe that Earth has a writer's room that it's written itself into a terrible corner. That they're all panicking up there like they thought they were gonna get canceled and we're about to end this shit and needed like 2 more fucking seasons to get through. Let's see what I got. I should just not put this away. Anyone like to drink here? Yeah, tip your bartenders. Or if that's not a thing here, then don't. I feel like old-timey alcoholics have this saying that like, oh, I never drink water, fish fucking it. Thank you. I have a more practical problem with water, and it's that people fucking it. Yeah. So I used to go on Tinder a little bit. That's the perfect response for that. It's not the right place to meet a mate, either in your context or mine. But when I went on Tinder, I went on in upstate New York, and there were a lot of what I would call white trash women on there. And what I determined is that white trash women, much like in autism and gender and sexuality, exist on a big, beautiful spectrum. In that some women are like, have a Confederate flag belt buckle, and that others have like 2 jet skis pulled apart in their fucking yard. Oh boy, all right.
Ding ding.
Is that a minute, or am I out of time?
You got 15 seconds.
15 seconds, oh boy, thank you guys have all been lovely. Thank you for staying. This shit's been great, thank you.
Awesome, thank you very much to Christian. Next up we have Roger.
All right. Okay. All right. So last night I had an itch. A bipolar spasm in my hand, the best way to describe that twitch. It appears I was in a conundrum, a dilemma, a hitch. Night watch, sleep's work undone as I try to get a grip now. Get a grip clearly means reach for the bowl. I took a sip to calm my nerves before I went full throttle. On that virgin page, the consummation was more of a fumble of right words and wrong, though this migraine like tempest was causing more than a puddle. After a deep-seated sigh and even deeper bourbon swig, the thorn in my side began to transform into a script. A revelation of sorts, it took more than I could give. As fatee closed my eyes, though the 40% helped a bit. Now, my mind flashed the face and immediately I knew that though it was only a taste, this tension would slowly bloom. And bloom it did, opening my eyes, Jack D's in my view. I picked up my Excalibur, decided to write a few. Now, you've heard me speak about how passion flows through my syringe-like pen, bleeding tantric woes about my beliefs and friends, but this time I couldn't believe I spent 4 hours or so slowly releasing my vent. It was plenty of passion and plenty of fire. The words came out raw, bleeding reasons for my inner desires ash-mated with the floor. Conceited feelings held me back, but I slew pride right there at the door. Disposed of the body, quickly and in a hurry. To my relief, the itch was no more. Thank you. Hold on. I'm just gonna shoot right in. This one's called Neat No Eyes. Sometimes I wish we were blown to the Stone Age. Hard to perceive the greatness of technology when the skies once filled with hope promise to rain your destruction. Big brother eyes discriminate and despise the free mind and unshackled tongue, but still, it spits, reloads and spits some more like a Magnum 4-4, but what else could you implore after seeing your brothers or sisters all fours across the floor? I speak for my sons and daughters on the Gaza Strip, for my brothers and sisters in the Syrian heat, my mothers and fathers knocking at our gate, my aunties and uncles trying to desperately change their fate. But still, we contradict and avert eyes, chew up the script constantly fried and flipped like chips from Five Guys, five-sided building complex decides to equip both sides, pentagons. Yeah, right, I see pentagrams. This is the devil's work, he found idle hands, or the darkness behind ambitions, plans. It seems the bigger they are, the bigger the shadow casts. So how can we still continue to cast votes when the past jokes of politicians seem to be reborn? We continue to be chattel under a tight yoke. Breathe, I mean it, breathe. Do you smell that despair? As lingering as the stench of death on clothes worn for 2 weeks straight, trotting along dangerous mountain roads, caught in between rubble and revolution, all the while thinking this was never my fight. All the while caught in between rubble and revolution, all the while thinking this was never my fight. There are people in this world with souls as dark as the last night, because surely this must be the end. The last star must have fallen. Words have disappeared from pages, the state of this world is appalling. There can be no more sitting on the fence. Chips, they're all in. Well, see where the luck of the spin lands, taken for granted that from England I have a greater chance of seeing the morning. Eyes rain more than skies, likes take all of our times. 100 hearts and grand pictures can cause a stir bigger than Richter, but 100 hearts blown apart in any bazaar other than in France won't even register, let alone cause a shake. We accept this as their everyday life as a people resigned to their fate. When did we discard our compassion? Like the inundation of the now, new thoughts must flood our psyche. Freshly fertilized ideas need to take root. We must become the botanists of tomorrow. It's up to us to nurture the seeds of revolution, whether it will be televised or not. Saving tomorrow is our absolution from our parts in this twisted plot. I assure you there will be no cavalry, just sword and pen. But in the end it will be elbow grease and blood in streets that pays for this peace. So tell me now, what will it be? Thank you.
Thank you very much to Roger. Okay, next up we have a poet who I first saw perform here in December, and I've been waiting for her to come back because she really blew me away with her words. So can we give a really warm welcome to Robin?
Thank you. My first poem is entitled Vinegar Valentine. I hate you because you make me feel, and there are no healings to the feelings I feel for you. Damned and true to the comfort I never knew. The feeling is less appealing, the feeling is turning blue. My brain is askew with concealing whatever this is I feel for you. I can't conceal these feelings I desperately feel for you because I know you don't want me to. You know me revealing whatever it is I'm feeling is too much for our souls to go through. From how I see you, in your view, you're a fine wine and I was your corkscrew. You won't find me kneeling. No, I was never breathing from you. You're not my Waterloo. Whatever these feelings I feel for you, you are more beautiful a muse than lascivious revenue. And wretches hang that jurymen may die, and it would seem our time was a fledgling dream. How does your wine taste now? Are you a waste that someone had the discourtesy to misplace? Who defaced your body and disgraced your name? No, you have lively scribblings of nothing to proclaim. When the weight of this feeling shall hit the ceiling, I should think of where you lay kneeling, your girlish squealing inside an empty dress. Maybe we tried too hard to impress each other, but I couldn't care less. You leave me with nowhere to go. Go and stand in the queue if you want to. Away with my feelings you threw. I'm still dealing in case you never knew. I'd still come over if you needed someone to screw you. And next time, I will make you scream. And this next poem is entitled Something. Life is something that you must live unrehearsed. And she feels cursed, a feeling no one ever nursed, no healing for her unquenchable thirst. She didn't always want to die head first, and she knew her heart would burst when questioned, something she later relies on when everyone asked her why she ran away from home. You can't say she never tried. Tears are dried on her face. She never lied, never tried to hide that she wasn't a saving grace, never denied the love lacking in this place, not a bride fit for the human race, you thought. And each time their bodies did collide, a small part of you died and you wrought that ghost upon the floor. But it breathes for nevermore. Truth to her is that life is unforgivingly cruel when all she managed to take from school was how to make sure no one hears you scream. How to confront that happiness is a fleeting dream. How to expect no one to defibrillate your self-esteem. How to accept that your feelings are poison in your bloodstream. Well, to the invisible characters hiding in the mist, to the students that put her name on the list, for all the times that you'd say she ran straight into your fist and all the times you claim that her lips would forever go unkissed. Hear me now, I'm pissed. She cries, wondering what it is that she missed, or you just couldn't resist. To you she doesn't exist, and somehow you never saw how you made her insides twist. Do you understand these words? Are you getting the gist? It was only a matter of time before a knife fell in love with her wrist. Hear me now. Sorry. Henceforth, little of her fighter spirit is remaining because it was defeated by your constant constraining. You mistook for complaining. Her self-esteem is waning in respect to these rules that you're desperately maintaining. Energy you're draining, and you think it's entertaining to see her eyes raining, to feel her torn soul paining. Hear it roar, louder than a luger by your ear. What sweet news to hear that she isn't staying here, no, because with this rope getting tighter around her neck, she doesn't care how she's stacking the deck of her life. The king, her father, the human spirit slayer, the queen, her mother, the most powerful player. The numbers are school teachers with their mouths sewn shut because each one is a slut to a government called Jack. And she's the joker you remove because you lack too much humanity to keep her. She'll be back. An angel in a crack of dogma, hear a thwack. I'll take your morals and I'll paint them black. Enough to give you a post-gender binary heart attack. Cardiac arrest. No, this isn't in jest. Take your money and your pride and shove it in that empty cavity inside your chest because somebody died tonight. Your abuse was a joint and she was a dead, guilty puffer. I wonder what the coroner will say when her family asks them, did they suffer?
Wow. Can we get another round of applause? Oh, let's keep it going for Robin. Thank you. Okay, so we've got 3 more readers to come tonight, just so that everyone that signed up on the reserve list can get heard. And so first up is Alyssa. She's still... Can we give her a round of applause, please?
Hello. This is Drunk Text to God. 1:27 a.m. Where did I find this number? Maybe on a crumpled napkin at the bar under my holy wine, or was it vodka Sprite? They're kind of the same thing, right? They both make me a little closer to Jesus Christ. Your son may have turned water into wine, but I can transform my blood into a substance strong enough to make even you drunk. I don't know much about your drinking history. I don't think they ever mentioned that in your biography, but I have a feeling you can handle your liquor. You and I should get a drink sometime. 2:03 a.m. You are a guy, right? The feminist in me wants to call you she, but I just can't see you that way. You have a shield and a long white beard, and maybe you could be like the bearded lady, but then why would you put her in the freak show? Now, I really want to know what you have down there. Not like I'm coming on to you. I don't even know if you have a down there or a corporeal form, but you are the father of anything that's ever been born, so I'm assuming you had to get around somehow. 2:44 a.m. How exactly do you save people? I'm not saying that I need to be saved, but I think this is a legitimate query. I have this theory that you don't work your magic until after death, because otherwise you and I would have met a long time ago. Where were you in high school when I was sneaking cigarettes between class, when I was throwing my empty bottles just to collect the shattered glass? Where were you tonight when I was 4 drinks deep into my, I guess it was my vodka Sprite? Oh, you must have been there. That's how I got this number. 3:12 a.m. Do you really love me? I learned in Sunday school that you do, but it seems hard to believe, because as far as I can tell, you don't even know me. You say you love your fans and you only interact with the holy elite, leaving all of us little people bowing at your feet. You are just like any other celebrity, but not even Kanye has gone to war for Beyonce. 3:17 a.m. Do you even exist? Please forgive me for questioning my faith, but if I have to wait this long for a response, how do I know if you're even listening? I know that there are a lot of people, a lot of requests, a lot of bickering, but aren't I important too? If not to you, then to whom? To that guy I met at the bar tonight? Oh, wait, that was you. 10:09 a.m. I think I am sober now, and I know that you are not God. Perhaps I should apologize, but I'm not going to. I don't remember much from last night, but I know that the sight of your obscured figure was the closest thing I've ever sensed or seen to the holy light. And you, too, gravitated towards my darkened shape when I was nothing more than a blob, not even a face. Maybe I am also God. 11:24 a.m. If you ever need someone to be there, feel free to shoot me a prayer sometimes. I'm probably just as helpful as an invisible thing who may or may not be in the sky. I can assign Hail Marys if that's what you need, or if you want, I can just read and nod and never respond. If you want, I can be your God.
Oh, wow, thank you so much to Alicia. Can we give her another round of applause, please? Okay, next up, we have a wonderful poet who used to be a regular here. When I first started coming to Spoken Word London, he's one of the people that massively inspired me. Can we give a really big round of applause to Nash?
Shit me, so I just got off a coach. Well, I didn't just get off a coach, just a little while ago. And I wrote this on the coach. So I'll start with this, and then I'll just go, I've got to find it first. And I'll go straight into the other one that I was going to read. It's called My Black Gay Skin. Colour. Colour man has become a buzzword again, and I hate this term, a man of colour, I'm sick of being stuck between gay racism and black homophobia. It's tiring, this tug of war for gay black men between the colour of your skin among the homosexual community and sexuality among the ethnic community. I've been shackled. I've been shackled in the chains of shame for eternity, and if the word is the truth, then let this spoken word set me free. Let every syllable in my poetry express the pain of each stone thrown at my glass conservatory. I am shattered. I am tired of defending myself against hatred and bigotry. I want to be left alone to love freely the way I've loved each brother and sister unconditionally. I want affectionate contact in the street without the fear of sparking World War III. And please forgive me, but what has my relationship with God and this creative imagery got to do with you? How is it your slate is so clean that you have the audacity to cast me as the depths of depravity? I worked with what I was given the best way I knew how. But you tried to hold and compress me down like I'm blue tack. Your notice board stationary, portraying me as the poster boy for the failings of humanity. I am the beauty of a butterfly floating with the pain of bees stinging me. And age has taught my heart that pain can't stop you fighting valiantly. I was born with my hands up screaming, I come in peace. And this motherfucker had the cheek to throw positive discrimination policy at me like I was the reason the system was fuckeries. The system means we're all born free with the same opportunities. You're confused, my friend. I think it's best you take a seat. You see, your opinion is a reflection in a train window, and like Storm Queen, I'm looking right through. But I don't want to be the angry black man spurting verbal heat. If you don't like it, then go back to your own country. You're too fucking fast. You don't understand. Take it easy. Portrayed as a wild dog that needs verbal chastity when I speak about the fragility of privilege. Two scenarios. The dead dark beast versus the pale mental capacity. Too many come from my skin tone on telly. So hear me when I say I'm educated in your fuckery, so please believe me when I say the more you feast on dark berries, the more likely you are to stain a white tea. No tea, no shade. Like RuPaul's Drag Race, you fucked me. When I say this, I don't think people understand. I mean, you really, really fucked me. You fucked with my self-worth. And like Will Smith, I'm hurt. Why don't you want me? So I pat my pocket and I head for the toilet. I pull out a bag, insert a key powder heaped, and I snort it. I think we can all agree that this is lunacy, but I'll tell you where it gets really crazy. When you lose your job because of inconsistency, but say to yourself that this isn't bad for me. My account still has money, and it doesn't matter that everyone around me can see the shortening of my life expectancy. So now, I lie unconscious with my tongue in my throat, my mates laugh and glow about not yet dancing the G-hop, and all this for what? 2 meals a G. Fuck, I can't believe that more and more of us inject intravenously when we fuck about while our bananas peel, strawberries and cream, you're dying inside because you're fruity, and society says that you're below par because you're gay. Is it any wonder when in past cases like Reg v. Smith, ex parte state, you can't join the army because of sexuality? Fuck. Like Sia, I've got a thick skin, but the world is pulling too much and I'm dying within. The physical pain pales in comparison to the emotional condition. But you own it and try to hold it down. Sorry. The physical pain pales in comparison to the emotional condition, but you own it, hold it down. But you should have left that shit behind you. See, this is no time for a clown. It's funny to see how unforgiving life is. How do you fit into a world that aspires to be a scene boy when you want to be a god? So you spend your days searching for a sealant for a void that can't be filled by emotional steroids, a heart full of water drowning in addiction from one body to another, but you don't puff those words these days. You drink that Coke life, less calories and red eye. I'm not talking extrinsically, I'm talking about those hateful words that lie intrinsically, more specifically that you don't fit the bill of the gay community. And we berate the likes of Russell Tovey for expressing what made them fall into that masculine category. Something expressed all the time in the media and all over Grindr. I'm almost thinking it was safer for me in Narnia. So I wrap up like I live in Serbia because we categorize, or you categorize me more coldly and militantly than Russia. Raise your eyebrows, but at this point I don't give a fuck, you see. Our denial has gone far too far, and it's funny to see those discriminated on the grounds of sexuality mock others on the grounds of gender identity.
Ding ding.
The hypocrisy is almost as great as that for my own ethnic community. And don't be surprised that I'm against events like Black Pride. At the surface it's all smiles, while at the base it's a clear divide. I'm not trying to be snide, but an event like this has no upside.
Wow, thank you so much, Tanesh. Okay, we're on to our final reader of the night. I just want to say thank you for everyone for bearing with us. I know we've had a few extra people on tonight. So the last reader of tonight's Spoken Word London is Lara. Can we give her a round of applause?
Hi, thanks for fitting me in. Cheers. I'm from Germany. I was born in England, but I came over here. I got beaten really badly in a transphobic attack about a year ago, and developed really bad. It's okay. And developed really bad PTSD, and I've since become a medical cannabis patient, and like I faced the stigma of being that, and like having PTSD, and like being trans and all that kind of stuff. And I was really stoked to hear about this night. So thank you for fitting me in. I appreciate it. And I got my new passport and identity yesterday. Can't you see? I'm breaking free. The prison you created for me, locked in your version of reality, which represses my identity, unable to breathe. The squeeze of your hand around my throat locks tight. Daylight, night, no black or white, fight back, slack jeans and bloodstreams, huddle around, drop and eat, and I explain it so you can see what I've seen. Chocolate queens and trans POCs of all colours and creeds, forming the bases and stashing resources, gathering forces like elders before us, some who were pourers and some who were ignorers. Street surveillance and police keep us trapped in the trees, getting our coins selling hashish and THC leaves. Afghanistan Kush feeds Afghan babies, YPJ women and lioness bravery, and black lives that don't matter and everyday slavery, and a system which promotes and demotes upon birth. Capitalist algorithms and your value to earth. Been a wiggly little bitch since the age of 6. Felt sick. Felt sick, feminine dick, binarized my shit and went with it. I lived 4 lives to develop these lines. I'm a girl, motherfucker, agender and fine. My DNA codes give me strength you can't fathom. Non-trans, sorry baby, it's a shame you can't have them. But all of you cis gay boys and lesbian girls, what are you fucking around for walking with swagger? This is our evolution, it always was, and I gathered as well as being sexist, you are a racist too. That's now 2 negatives as we evaluate you. You claim to be an ally, but you spit on my sex working girls. What's that about? Not a part of your world. The real life stories that you choose to ignore as you appropriate trans bodies behind closed cisgender doors, appropriate our genitals to serve your own cause, erase all the outsiders making far too much noise, and those who take drugs and have cocks where you want slits, and rock cocks where you want clits, and take drugs and work nights and have black skin and melanin and what the fuck? What the fuck? Okay, sorry, I lost it a little bit. I'm really nervous, like I suffer from really bad anxiety, so thank you. Have I got 1 more minute?
Yeah, you got 2.
Okay. Imperial death kiss and another heart is torn in the city where we grew. Real people were born, looking at it now brings a tear to my eye. Undivided violence brings death from the sky. Cock my weapon, watch where you're stepping. Catch a lesson, 1 dose hit harder than most to knock your head back. Prepare to blow your ear, blaze the fat white girl, glass tip in the front and 3 grams in the rear. Keep the doorbell strong, wrap tight and long. Yes, we might do wrong, but the game is on. Dialed up preachers, step up to be teachers. Bikini on the beaches, show that ass like peaches. Calibrate the caliphate, cause crash bangs are inadequate. Smash lands and abandonment, privatise imprisonment, corporate rules and governance. Past lives and penitence, hung, drawn and quartered, cause flaws in laws and order, walls around the border. Bodies floating in water, system is a fraudster, shorter lives grow shorter, and the courts are bought by people who need to be fought. Taught that the ways might be fraught with those who ought to be avoided. Cruising through the night and tip my hat to my halo. You gotta be a baddie if you wanna go what I go. You wanna know what I know, wanna know what we know. Smash patriarchal systems for the feminist cause. Smash glass ceilings, smash glass walls, smash glass panels and doors, smash glass creates daggers. Use forgetting what's yours. What you wanna do, man, hide or run. Smooth block, switch putt, pull out the gun. Mad attack had your face, the boom black. Jackknife swiftness, all up in your business. Gender relentless, money no object. Project violence, silence. Take it from your highness, the priestess. Revolution on a global scale. Connecting our bases in this living hell. Embracing those who go through this as well. And saying fuck you man and free all those in jail. A prison of race and gender, both constructs. And all our laws are bended, but we know it's not true. Hold our shit down and keep fighting through. To all born different, I embrace you. Let no one take your anger, no one take your voice, no one take your sadness, and no one take your choice. Smash glass ceilings, smash glass walls, smash glass panels and doors. Smash patriarchal systems for the feminist cause. Smash glass panels and doors. Smash glass creates daggers, girls. You're just forgetting what's yours. My name's Lara Holy. I'm on YouTube and SoundCloud, and I'm homeless, and I've got a Patreon, and I could really do with the support. Lara Holy.
Wow, thank you so much. That's like the only time I've ever just not been able to press the button. You went slightly over there, but I was like, I can't do it. That was really amazing. Thank you so much. And thank you so much to everybody who's come and shared their words tonight. The video will be available on YouTube. I'll share it over the page. If you have anything else that you want to share, please send it to Spoken Word London on Facebook.com, and I will share it over. And just before we go, I just want to say thank you to a few people. So tonight has been filmed and put on YouTube by Nathan. Can we give him a round of applause, please? We also have the wonderful Paulina, who is making a documentary for Vogue Fabrics about the community, and she's been filming as well. So can we give her a round of applause? And lastly, we have our wonderful in-house photographer, Lauren, who has been back after a bit of a hiatus. Can we give her a massive round of applause? And I just want to say that because we're gone weekly, we're actually looking for a photographer. So if there's anyone here who is interested in photographing the night, please come and talk to me. And there's a small fee and some beer in it for you. Thank you so much. It's been such an amazing night. Can we give a big round of applause to everyone who's performed tonight? Thank you very much. We've been Spoken Word London, and we are every week at 7:30. Thank you very much.